So intellectual property is a very interesting combination of various kinds of disciplines. So at the underlying base is the technology aspect or the most creative aspects, and then you have a layer of business interest and business aspects, and you have the overall economic and policy aspects that are embedded in the intellectual property legal systems. Hello and welcome. I am Yogesh Pai, Assistant Professor of Law at National Law University, Delhi. Many of you might be wondering, why do you need to study intellectual property as a subject? Now, this subject has gained importance over a period of time for various reasons. Most importantly, lawyers who tend to advise clients seek intricate knowledge of underlying technology, underlying economics and business interests that are embedded in the structure of intellectual property system. This course has a lot of benefit for those who are interested in IP law from the perspective of understanding how technology, law, economics, business interacts. Intellectual property, as we understand, is a set or a group of laws that has to deal with creating incentives for innovation and creativity. So if we look through human civilization, one of the most fundamental aspects of this entire human flourishing is creativity and innovation. And one of the important tools that human society has developed as a law is intellectual property. Of course, there are other ways to incentivize innovation and creativity, but intellectual property stands as a dominant tool to incentivize various forms of creativity, and it is largely responsible for some of the most interesting stuff like gadgets that you use. Think about various kinds of logos, think about various kinds of books, music, cinema, art, literature, and you will see as an underlying layer of legal protection that is afforded by intellectual property. Now, if you look through the learning objectives of this course and the learning outcomes, I'm sure you would be assured that this course has a lot to offer. So some of the objectives that were carved out in designing this course was to provide you a greater and in-depth clarity, most importantly the conceptual clarity on a lot of deeper concepts involved in the IP system. We also wanted you to look into this subject both from a historical perspective as to how it has evolved, and also from various other dimensions like how it relates to competition law, how it relates to free speech, how it relates to other branches which interact with law on day-to-day basis. So over a period of time, you are going to witness that the course modules have been structured to give you this kind of an in-depth understanding, which has a broad brush of international obligations, it has a broad brush of underlying business reasons, economic reasons, it has a broad brush of underlying human rights approaches to IP, it has also a broad brush of overall social and economic frameworks that developing countries have sought to take together in designing their own IP systems. Now, what are the learning outcomes of this course? The learning outcomes are very clearly, of course, you would get a very practical and in-depth understanding of the working of the IP system in India. You will also get a deeper understanding of how IP transactions work in practice. You will get a deeper understanding of what are the remedies underlying and enforcement procedures that you need to use if you are an intellectual property lawyer. And finally, you would also get to understand, if you are on the defense side, what are the defenses, what are the limitations on intellectual property that are provided within the legal framework. I'm sure this course is going to open up and uncover a lot of the misconceptions that you might have had until now on this particular area. So finally, I invite you to join this course, and during the next 15 weeks, I'm sure you will actually see the results. One of the things that we have done in this course is to give you practical examples we will not just run you through the right statutory provisions and the judicial cases, but we have selected examples that can actually help you in understanding the nuances of the subject from a very conceptual perspective.